Wake up. Oh. Do you want to sleep in? For how much longer? Just 2 minutes? Okay. How about just like 1 minute? You don't want to sleep? You want to sleep more? Okay, let's make a deal. I'll let you sleep for a few more minutes if you continue to be cute.
Quite possibly the cutest cat video in all of existence. Okay, this time I'm not going to screw up. I apologize for really abrupt ending last video, but like I had started to read this and I was like in every single word, and I was like, okay, time to stop. And time to slow down and actually pay attention to the words that I'm reading. I also cut out what I thought was a pretty impressive rant/discussion. I don't know what to call it when I'm just going on my own, but I'm not really ranting and raving. This is a little thing. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, well, since you're so nice, I'll promise not to use my wicked void power to read basic common sense and skills deduction to bust you up so bad. I'd be ever so grateful. Then, without giving you a whole third degree, what is safe to tell me? Like, what does it mean to be a rogue of void? That's what I am, right? Yes, I can tell you plenty about that. A rogue is a passive class. You see, there are passive, plus, and active, minus classes. Some more strongly passive or active than others. The plus-minus distinction can mean many things, but could be quite roughly summed up in this way. Active classes exploit that aspect to benefit themselves, while passive classes allow that aspect to benefit others. But of course there's plenty more to it, and that rule is in no way absolute. Only a starting point for understanding the dichotomy. You mean kinda like offensive versus defensive magic in an RPG? Sure, that's another way of looking at it. Classes always come in plus-minus pairs with significant disparity between them. While a rogue is passive, a thief would be its far more active counterpart. The rogue and thief classes tend to be assigned to females, not exclusively, but commonly. Other classes lean more toward male assignment, while others are exclusively male. Just as many are exclusively female, like my class. That's a bit of a tangent, though. To answer your question about being a rogue, I should tell you both classes in plus-minus pairs tend to have very similar descriptions. In this case, a rogue or a thief is one who steals. Quite simple, really. But whether the class is plus or minus makes all the difference. It is a great indicator as to how a hero will make use of the aspect. So basically, a thief is like the asshole class, the player who says step off shit's mine, suckers, whereas a rogue is basically Robin Hood. If that reference to your culture provides a suitable comparison, then absolutely. So I'm essentially the Robin Hood of Void. I'm still not sure what the fuck that actually means. Understandable. I guess Robin Hood's pretty cool though. Thiefing up loot from peeps who got too much, then I'll sugar daddy and out to the needy like a boss. Just don't have a clue how that works with Void. Yes, it is one of the more conceptually nebulous pairings, I agree. And I can't say I know a smashing good deal about the nature of the Void player's path, since the aspect is by definition inscrutable to those it does not choose. But I can at least tell you this. If you are ever to enjoy full ascension as a rogue of Void, you'll be able to do some completely astonishing things. Now, okay, I have to pause here, slow on the uptake, and go back to what she was talking about exclusively male and exclusively female classes. Now, I'm not usually one in Homestuck to completely disregard aspects of canon as I see fit, but I believe that this is a moment where we all need to make concessions, because a lot of people kind of made a face at that. Because this does not take into account, anybody off the gender binary, whether you're transgender, or agender, bigender, trigender, because I've seen that before, or even intersex with no clear leanings one way or the other. And what I ask is, does that mean that if they're not one or the other, that they are restricted to the 6 non-gendered classes? Or will the game pick whatever they think fits? Like an example for a transgender person, but one who is not, displaying the gender that they believe themselves to be, will the game choose the gender that they want to be? Or let's say that we have a cisgendered female, physically female, gendered female, but who, for instance, is... I can't really think of any exclusively male classes at the top of my head, so I'm just going to go with the most exclusively male class I know of, which is, slight spoilers, which is a lord. What if they are a lord? That fits them. What if they're a prince, and that fits them? Because I think prince is another one of the exclusively male classes. Because, you know, it's about what fits you best, or at least what you grow into being. And I had a discussion with somebody last night about this, where we were talking about, you know, if that cisgendered girl in my example, if this is because the game decided that she needed to get in touch with her masculinity. But then I'm thinking, that's not fair. That's favoring, you know, genderism, if that's the most appropriate way to put it. Because I believe that no matter what your gender identity or what your physical sex, whatever you choose to be, it's great. There's nothing wrong with being cisgender. There's nothing wrong with being transgendered. It's great. So implying that we favor one over the other, like it's better to be transgender than it is to be cisgender, to me just seems unfair. So with that being said, I think that here I'm going to not say that Calliope is lying, but that she might not know as much as she thinks she knows, and say that no matter what you play, you're going to get the class and aspect that fits you best, whether you're male, whether you're female, whether you present male, whether you present female, no matter what. Even if you don't do either, or you do both, or you're intersex and it doesn't really apply to you, the game will give you what they think is best. So, that being said, let's see. Like what? Oh no, you will not try this out to me. Not to preserve causality, but to keep the surprise in store for you. It would not be honourable of me to spoil the discovery, should you be fortunate enough to realise your potential. Well, about that, I feel sort of stupid about this, but I've been giving all my friends this whole dramatic spiel about not wanting to play this thing, and I might have fucked up shit already. Is that so? It's so. And I guess I still haven't decided what to do. There are props and cons to both things. Would you mind listing them? Okay, either I don't play, and I get this kind of passive-aggressive revenge at the witch for killing my mom, and thereafter keep staying here and being lonely. Or I do play, and the spoips are as follows. Sweet powers for me, check. Trigenerational Lalonde family reunion, check as fuck. Meet all my friends, heck a check. And some other stuffs. All fine points. Is there nothing I can do to make the decision easier? Nah, but thanks. You already have anyway. And I'll probably play... Wonder if I can tell these dry without looking like a waffle-assed chump. What's a waffle-assed chump? Is it Earth cuisine? Well, no, it's just a shithead. This doesn't matter now, though. I can play till I go deliver this dead cat back in time to my mom or something. That's another statement that doesn't make a good deal of sense to me, but if it is important to you, then Godspeed. I'm so pleased to hear you are leaning in favour of participating with the rest of us. I promise we'll all have a ball together. Now, I have a busy schedule to keep up with, so I must go. But please remember, you can always contact me if you have questions. Don't be a stranger, love. Ta! Uranian Umbra, cease cheering, tipsy nostalgic, PG. To the laboratory. The secret laboratory. I am itchy as fuck right now. Okay. You are fairly sure this window will take you to one of the windows you have set up in the lab. There is more than one way to find out if it is true, you guess. But there is only one way that involves doing what the inebriated do best, which is falling down. Descend. Whee! Cool. Her dream self? Weren't expecting to see that, were you? Okay, now it's time to be Dirk. Okay. You are now Dirk. What the hell was going on here again? That's right. You were lodged in the bulbous cleft of Paradox Space's huge realm S, and we were hoping to trouble you for a bit of context. Something to set our watches to, if you'd be so kind. Perhaps your successive actions will oblige us so? Haha, JK, young bro. We know you don't give a shit. Go ahead and do whatever feels right. Young bro. Go get your sword. You retrieve your unbreakable katana. A real hard sword for a real hard dude. It was said to be forged by an ancient otaku master over the heat of a roaring manga fire. It was cooled in an enchanted spring where virgin horses nicker and bathe, and was said to be used only by one whose pointy anime shades were deemed sweet enough, and whose hair existed in a perpetually sculpted state of looking completely fucking awesome. All of these things are said by you. No, you have to have hair that looks like a tropical bird. Yeah. Yeah, blade kind, puppet kind, and fancy Santa kind. You like to juggle around a few different allocations in your portfolio besides blade kind, mostly ironically. You take a certain amount of pride in being able to beat practically anyone's ass down with a puppet, a martial discipline for which there is a startling variety of techniques. Fancy Santa kind is a straight-up shits and giggles specialist, though. Nobody's quite sure how to extract damage from a foe using an extremely elaborate Santa figurine, but if anyone can figure it out, it is probably you. I don't know, it's like any blunt object, bash people with it. Give little Cal a nervous fist bump? Nervous? That's absurd. There's no reason to be nervous around Cal. Little Cal is a shit. And you can see him manipulating it. Sweet. He's so cute. He's been around as long as you can remember. You were practically raised by that puppet. He was a much better guardian to you than that Hollywood superstar bro of yours ever was. He's such a good listener. You share with him all your most private thoughts and hopes and dreams, and sometimes you snuggle up with him for a nice nap. Anyway, the bottom line is puppets are awesome. And that's really all there is to say on the matter. It's just so cute. I do that in roleplays a lot when he actually has Cal as a doll. Admire Fancy Santa. Damn, that shit's pretty fancy. Look at this pompous little asshole. What a god-awful piece of shit this thing is. You aren't even sure why you keep these things around. The miasma of tackiness that surrounds them is almost enough to outstrip their irony value. Almost. Great robotic friend. You say, yo, what up to this dude over here and exchange a unique series of handshakes and fist bumps. The question is, does Squarewave stylistically have arms? His name is Squarewave. You built him to have rap-offs with you now and then. He's an enthusiastic rapper and gives it his all whenever you duel, but it's pretty easy to destroy. You never lost a match against him. You've only built one other rap-off besides him. His name is Sawtooth. You designed him to be unbeatable in a rap-off, and he is. You have never won a match against him. You hope to one day, but you're not going to hold your breath. His flow is just that insane. You keep one of his spare heads over there on your desk, but otherwise you don't see much of him. It's been months since your last encounter. He presumably spends his time traveling the world, annihilating any rapper foolish enough to challenge him. Which is virtually nobody. Hey, examine wardrobe. You tell Squarewave to scoot out of the way so you can get a load of your sweet fashions. Aw, looks like he really wanted to rap with you. Sorry, guy, maybe another time. This is your wardrobifier. It automatically rotates your fashions whenever you feel like. Change shirt? Ah, yes. You bust out a tank top, which is the go-to solution for hard dudes who want to show off their guns. It is a very strong look, you think. That's what I love about him. You take the stereotype of gays in fashion and you just make it manly and cool. And it's perfect. What the hell is that on your arm? Oh, that? It's just your sick ink featuring a legendary cultural icon of deep personal significance. What even is the big deal? Fun story about that. I was a little confused as to how he could tattoo himself on his shoulder, but apparently, according to my friend whose dad has self-made tattoos, that's one of the easiest places to do it because you just do it in front of a mirror. So, pretty cool. Examine little posters. Let's just cover up that ugly, hideous rainbow abomination. R.I.P. Stiller. Poor bastard. Had to go and get all tangled up with your brother's crazy, complicated life. As for the other one, you are a studious pop culture scholar of all eras. A sharp critic of that reflection in the mirror will hold up to our society. You seek truth in the vivid mosaic made of our most shameless obsessions. Your interest in these cartoon ponies is strictly academic, okay? No, seriously. What? Okay, you love this one particular little rainbow horse unironically. Is that such a crime? She is so... Oh, Dirk, darling, you misspelled cunty. I'll let it slide. Examine puppet hat pile. How about the picture loads? Thank you. The pile at the foot of your bed consists of hats, a few stray rebel parts, and smuppets. Smuppets are a lovable sort of plush of your own design. You love everything about puppets. You're always thinking about the craft of their production, their operation, cool new designs and such. If the cosmos didn't have more important plans for you, and if the world weren't so fucked up, you'd make a run at fame and fortune with your own puppet enterprises, just like your bro did with all his weird shit. You also love to keep a bunch of hats around, even though you never wear them. You love hats, because all bros love hats, and that's what you are, a bro. You'd consider wearing one now and then, but they don't really fit the dimensions of your head yet. And anyway, it would be criminal to mess up your perfect hair. Instead, you do the next best thing, which is wearing a picture of one on your shirt. And by the next best thing, you're pretty sure you mean the vastly superior thing. Don't fit the dimensions of your head yet. Oh yeah, the thing about those Muppets. How a teenage boy who lives completely alone gets his sexual frustration out of the way. Check out Big TV. When you're not using the screen for other purposes, you have it set to rotate through some images by default, like a digital picture frame. The image flips from a totally bitchin' horse puppet sort of thing to a portrait of everyone's favorite comedy duo, Stiller and Wilson. Your bro made so many of these movies, it's hard to keep track of them. The series drifted almost imperceptibly from surrealist slapstick and inexplicable box office dynamite to veiled, near-subliminal protest pieces designed to expose the corporate tyranny slowly taking control of the world. The statement did not go unnoticed by the Baroness, and soon the conflict between your brother's media empire and Crocker Corps was a matter of public spectacle. Though the press has generally played up the rivalry to an extremely high-stakes display of performance art. And knowing your bro, there is surely some truth to this. Yes. There very much is. Donald Glover won an Academy Award for his transcendental performance as Jerome. After his acceptance speech, there was not a single dry eye in the house. His heroic effort on the silver screen was heralded by critics everywhere as a defining moment in cinematic history. Alas, the Batter Witch did not look upon his achievement as kindly. She had him assassinated. Poor Donald Glover. He didn't even get to play Spider-Man. And that one is... never mind what that one is. You can't stand around all day looking at the movie stills and swole bunny men. There's still some other shit in your room to investigate. You switch back to your regular shirt. You weren't feeling the wife beater. The t-shirt says, I still got work to do, while the other one says, which trailer is the party at? And Shredders don't party till it's good fucking time to party. Examine red microwave? It isn't a microwave, it's your syndicator. Pretty much the only Crocker tech you can bring yourself to use. It's too handy not to. You just type in the coordinates, pop the thing you want to syndificate, and hit the button. It'll syndificate the thing in a jiffy, assuming it's temporarily allowed and within size restrictions. Obviously, you can only send what you can fit inside there. You had to send Jake your robot piece by piece, barely managing to squeeze that shiny melon head in there. He then dutifully assembled the robot himself. Barely managing to squeeze that shiny melon head in there. Now, what is Brobot's head identical to? Dirk's head. What is this? Foreshadowing. Okay. Poor fool, so jovially complicit in his own merciless jungle predation. It's all for the best, though. When you're through with English, he will be a ruthless killing machine. Mark your words. Well, that was foreshadowing. I happen to know. Capture log Jerome plush. That is a lot of orange fucking soda. Why does he have a shoe in there? Because I see the bro hat and the shades, which incidentally he's got on his face, unless he, carries multiples. But a cool guy always carries multiple pairs of shades. You snap up the Jerome plush in your tech hop modus. This modus is often employed in rap battles, but it is a bit more elegant and sophisticated than what most hash rap artists traditionally employ, like the more arbitrarily numeric hash maps and hash tables. The cards are arranged in shade columns and groove rows. Everything in the same column has to rhyme. Everything in the same row has to have some thematic similarity. Organizing everything gets complicated, and weaponizing your inventory through rap lyrics takes some serious skill. For instance, the third groove row got kind of railroaded into becoming an orange soda row, so you've been rolling with it recently. The fourth row is pegged for stuff associated with cool bros. The second row is all about dolls, puppets, and stuff like that. The Jerome plush is clearly suitable for that row and rhymes with crush, so that works out. Then you have some other perfectly dope rhymes like Santa and Fanta, Fago and Game Bro, Do and Shoe. Why the shoe, I don't know. There's also Smuppet and Orangette, which frankly you think is pretty weak, but hey, the modus allows it, so whatever. Then there are times where you have to be creative with naming stuff to get it to fit, like calling a skateboard a four-wheel device to get it to rhyme with slice. It's just another facet to the craft. Does it allow Shakespearean rhymes, though? That is my question. I still don't know why he has the shoe. What's up with the shoe? It's just one of your shoes. And he has the kitty blush. Kitty wizard blush. Cat rhymes with bat. It's grenade. Shades. And Minute Maid. Nice. Very nice. Capture log Sweet Bro plush. Might as well complete the plush collection. You grab the sweet bro off your bed. It intersects quite conveniently with the plush groove in the Fago shade. Nice one. Plush. Bro. Capsule log Hella Jeff plush. Last but not least, there is nothing that rhymes with Hella Jeff. It really isn't worth jumping through a lot of linguistic hoops to pick this thing up right now, so you just forget it. You have to pick up your battles, you know? Pick your battles. More like, pick up your battles, yes. Let's put them in the modus. Battle rhymes with cattle, and moo rhymes with poo. We win. Take sword. You pick up the mighty sword. The easy thing to ditch in here is to slice, stick the sword in the weapons row, and rhyme it with board. Your bro had a lot of junk like this manufactured over the years. He patented the technology for producing three-dimensional JPEG artifacts to make products shittier than was ever previously imaginable. He made a killing off them. Not because anyone bought this garbage, but because they were so cheap to manufacture, their cost was actually negative, therefore miraculously netting him profit for every unit produced. He made so much money this way, he had enough to finance manned space missions to haul all the hideous, unwanted JPEG shit off the Earth and launch it into the sun. But years thereafter, every now and then someone will report a stray shitty skateboard slowly drifting back into Earth's atmosphere. People would pray they would burn up on re-entry. But they never would. Dave would do that. Ah, look. Squarewave saw you messing around with your Solidex and thought you were preparing for a rap battle. He's kind of like an eager pet dog, and you made the mistake of picking up his leash, and now he thinks he's going for a walk. You hate to break his heart, but you just don't have time. Your concentration is divided enough as it is. Be dream self? Among the many ways you tend to multitask is by maintaining an ever-alert dream self. There's a lot to keep an eye on when it comes to the cloak and dagger politics of Durs, especially these days. Can't let your guard down for a second. Examine sleazy Dursite rag. The Inquiring Carapacian. Dead. It's the latest issue of the Inquiring Carapacian, touting the recent assassination of prophets made of life. Quite the triumph for the Dark Kingdom, and the press had predictably sensationalized the event to please the royalty and whip its readership into a nationalistic lather. Excuse me. In spite of all the ridiculous hyperbole and baseless slander found in the tabloids, one thing is clear. This development means nothing but trouble. If Noir has been empowered to take measures like this, you may have to accelerate your plans. Shit, while you were distracted with the newspaper in Dreamland, Squarewave ambushed you for a wrap-off. Told you, bro, can't let your guard down for a second. It's like a wild encounter. Wrap-off! I don't know if I'm confident enough in my really shitty rapping skills to actually do this. But, yo D-Strizzle, I couldn't help but check you loading up on your silly dilly. Can't fool me, Holmes. I know what that's about. So I just got one of the cans of surprise noodles left to bust open here, and I know how you love your noodles. Do you want to play a game? And no. I already told you, I don't have time to disgrace you with my rhymes today. Sorry, dude. It's so whack. I've been watching you waste nothing but time looking at all your horse pictures and shit. So I'm like, that shit's as whack as a guy made of metal. Sit your ass back down, because we got shit to settle. Just parking on my grill, you be whistling like a kettle. If rap's a one-wheel device, your foot don't reach the pedal. Word. God damn it. Alright, this is all you get. Rap off? Man, I gotta nap off your sad rap ambush. Shush your ass down while I pap you with the plush. I push mad facts on the hapless. It's practically axiomatic. You don't talk smack with an orange crush. Whoops. Damn, dog. Why is a robot gotta be so particularly susceptible to a liquid like this? It ain't cool. Whoops. While you're making short work of Squarewave, you once again made the mistake of letting your other self's guard down. You were accosted by a Dursite agent with a serious axe to grind. These guys aren't supposed to know you're awake. Looks like your cover's blown unless you act fast. While you were standing there kind of vacantly throwing objects out of your Solidex in Dreamworld. Oh, meanwhile, your other self standing vacantly just being like, act fast. Yeah. I like how he just subtly jitters. Now concho him, or cut his head off, whichever. You're in perfect position to do that. Poor hegemonic brute. His time in the spotlight has been cut tragically short. You almost feel sorry for the guy. But now you have a problem. You spend the next 10 minutes thinking about it while you stand on his head and stare at the blood on your hands, as the often utilized stock graphic in the bottom corner of the image would indicate. Check on Roxy. Since the Arc Agent is clearly leading the assassination efforts personally on Prospit, this means the Draconian dignitary is most likely focused on the Durstreamers. He has almost certainly ordered the brute to off you in your sleep. You can only hope the dignitary or one of his assassins hasn't already gotten to her. Now let's get out of here. There she goes. Just as you thought, sleepwalking again. Where the hell does she think she's going? Be waking self again? This is kind of a redundant thing to do since you are always consciously both your waking and dream self at the same time, but you'll let it slide. You should probably stop dwelling on your Durst problems and try to get the show on the road. Fester Roxy? Okay, we've had this conversation before. La la la. When does he choose whether or not to say conversation done previously? Seriously. No, I remember I told you a million times shit sounds like it could be the best thing ever. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. You also had this conversation. Take actual responsibility seriously. You attempt to take actual responsibility seriously, but start zoning out in the real world while you dwell on your dream troubles. You zone out for who knows how long, when suddenly your train of thought is interrupted by your glasses. Answer autoresponder. I don't even remember why this was clicked on. Half the time I don't even know. Bro, what are you doing? Seemed you were zoning out again. What happened to all these actual responsibilities you were going to take seriously? Just thinking about what to do. Strategizing, factoring contingencies, you know how it is. It seems to me you were dwelling within your dream awareness at the expense of your waking business again. I don't think you're as awesome a multitasker as you'd like to think. You know, you kind of zombie the fuck out on this side when you get all contemplative on that side. Appearances are deceptive. I'm still in control here, just doing this human thing we call chilling out for half a goddamn minute. I say y'all are overestimating your mind's capability to run shit in parallel. What do you think you are, a machine? No, dude. I already deployed a variety of mechanical avatars dedicated to that self-aggrandizing fantasy. You have the incredible privilege of getting to be one of them. That's right, I am a machine, and therefore I can keep like billions of calculations or whatever all humming away at once, and tackle shit in background processes you could only dream of wrapping your exquisite-looking head around, even on a great hair day. You know pi? What, you mean the number? Yes, the number. The big circle number, genius. I knew you meant the fucking number. My question was a joke. I know your question was a joke. My response was a joke. Yeah, I know that. I'm practically you, dumbass. All these things we're saying are jokes, including this fucking useless clarification. What about pi? Yeah, the thing is, I solved it. What do you mean you solved it? I mean, that's what a hotshot I am. I fucking solved it. Like, calculated it so much I got to the end. Bullshit. You wish it was bullshit. Last number is 4. Read it and fucking weep. It's not 4, you jackass. It's fucking nothing. There is no end. Said the smug organic matter with the lifespan. Look, I know you're just fucking with me because for some reason I decided to program my own personal troll 3 years ago, but this shit was proven. Actually demonstrated with unassailable mathematics, like a long-ass time ago. Well, I just assailed it. It wasn't even that hard. Like, I just kept hacking these digits so furiously with my sick rhythms. The whole goddamn number just cried uncle. Kind of wrote it out and just gave up. Sort of like I overloaded the system. You know, like in that old movie where Ferris Bueller got the nuclear computer to play tic-tac-toe against itself so hard it blew up? This is laughable. It's a totally elementary thing. I'm pretty sure an ancient Greek guy settled shit about irrational numbers. It was practically when math was invented. Sure, it was settled, and then some robo-shades came along and owned the fucker posthumously. I also figured out all the prime numbers, too. No, not having this conversation. Did it while we were talking just now. Got to the end. And you know what? The last one isn't even that big. Kind of disappointed, to be honest. What is even a prime number? Are they the, like, really, really choice ones? The sweet numbers? You lost me, supercomputer. This is what I'm saying. I put your ability to keep plates spinning on sticks to insane amounts of shame. I don't even sleep. Neither do I. I know, that was a fucking joke. Holy shit, turns out joking was the basis for my response too. Aren't these ironic you don't get joke conversations we have always so awesome? A joke. Haha, nice one. Anyway, all I'm saying is you can leave some of the heavy lifting to me now and then. I'll keep that in mind. In the meantime, I have to contact Jane and warn her Roxy might try to pull that pointless stunt. So thanks for snapping me out of my daydream so I could do that, I guess. Looks like you're pulling your weight already. See? Maybe that was my whole point in having this conversation. Your point was to fuck with me, like it usually is. My point was to point out you've got multi-self-management issues, dude. Juggling too many cells for being not software. My point was also to fuck with you. Also, my point was to ask, are you really going to go through with it today? What? The Jake thing. Oh god, will you just... Hold on, let me deal with the Jane thing first. And thus. I love when the two of them talk. And I was going to point out, he said y'all here, which I think is weird. Who would he have learned y'all from? Jane? But then again, I have some headcanons about Hal and Dave, so yeah.